political activist, Paul Bigman.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. And I'm saying sisters and brothers because, well, first let me ask. Martin Luther King Jr. County Government Council represents 75,000 workers and 150 local unions. How many folks here are union members? We're here loud and proud. That's what I thought. But you know, the labor movement is just a little bit more than union members. The labor movement is labor. Unions are just the organized portion of that. So let me ask, how many people here are part of our labor movement because you work for a living, make the windows shake downtown? And that is why organized labor, when we're doing our job, is not just speaking out on behalf of our own members, but speaking out to fight for the entire working class. And we do it because we understand and take seriously a labor slogan that an injury to one is an injury to all, which does not mean, as a neoliberal president once said, "I feel your pain." It means that when there are workers out there getting paid less than it takes to pay the rent and pay the bills and feed their children, that is an injury to every single one of us, and it is a fight for all of us. There's a lot of focus in the media on certain kinds of minimum wage workers, and these are some of the most exploited. But you know, as folks have been pointing out here, minimum wage workers are not just fast food workers or people working for big corporations that we subsidize through our taxes like Walmart. It's also low-wage factory workers, a lot of them immigrants, people of color, and women. It's the child care workers and home care workers who take care of our children and our elderly and our sick and our disabled. And it's even, and I'm sorry that Dave Westberg from the operating engineers couldn't stay, it's even employees of the Seattle public schools who do the maintenance work and the cafeteria work for our children, and that's a disgrace. There's also been an attempt in the media to make it look like, oh, this kind of fringe movement, you know, it's just weird lefties, and you can sort of ignore it. But I want to tell you, because I don't think it got a lot of publicity, you know, in the last gubernatorial election, Rob McKenna said he lost the election because of the Democratic Party organizations in two districts, the 36th district and the 43rd district. Well, I want to tell you, the 36th district and the 43rd district, both Democratic organizations have endorsed this march, and have endorsed 15 now, and will be mobilizing to protest it. We've got people who are telling us, be nice. Those of you who are as old as me may remember a great song by Malvina Reynolds from the 60s that said, it isn't nice to block the doorways, it isn't nice to go to jail. There are nicer ways to do it, but the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice. You told us once, you told us twice, but if that's feed and price, we don't mind. So let me ask you, are you committed to winning this fight? No matter what it takes. Okay, let me ask you a few things. Are we going to sit by and allow restaurants and bars, and by the way, since we established the highest minimum wage in the country and indexed it to the rate of inflation, despite all the apocalyptic predictions, the number of jobs in the restaurant and bar industry since 1998 has gone up in this state 21%. Are we going to allow restaurant and bar owners to say, well, we shouldn't have to pay $15 because we'll make the customers make up the difference? No! Are we going to allow employers to say, well, you know, we got two alternatives for health care. We'll do it the Walmart way and have the taxpayers take care of our employees through Medicaid, or we'll just deduct it from people's wages. Are we going to allow that? No! And are we going to allow them to say, well, maybe $15 next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years when your grandkids get old enough? Are we going to allow that? No! Okay, let me ask you what we are going to do. Is everyone here committed to getting involved and seeing this fight through and winning $15 this year for all workers in Seattle? Are you all going to be there on April 26th at the conference where we kick off that initiative campaign? The initiative is really important. It's the same way that when you're fighting for a contract, the best way to avoid a strike is prepare for it. The best way not to have to file an initiative is to prepare for it. And are you going to be there on May Day fighting for immigrant workers' rights and the $15 minimum wage? Okay.